So you'll notice that here every time the diamonds repeat, there's something slightly different going on. All the ornaments and all those little bits that make up Latvian symbols come out and play. The sleeve construction is a little different. It's a little bit more balloony and more comfortable. I like it because I can easily pull the sleeve up like that when I get too warm, like I am now. As I said, you can easily switch between light and dark colors. You wouldn't have to draw your own chart for that. Hello, my name is Zanete. I am the designer behind Zanete Knits, and welcome to a pattern deep dive. This time it's on the Diamond Groove sweater pattern that's coming out in a few days. And in this video, I'll tell you about the inspiration, the yarn and gauge and needles that I used, the sizing, the construction and all the techniques, and then I'll touch on some possible customizations and modifications. This sweater was created in collaboration with Julie Asselin from Canada, and it's using her sport weight base called Journey Sport. And we talked a little bit about what the theme or concept could be, and we settled on something geometric. And I can't say that this is Latvian inspired, but probably is because I am Latvian, and when I am charting, then all the ornaments and all those little bits that make up Latvian symbols come out and play. So I wanted something quite simple with short floats, which predominantly this sweater is. It's a lot of quick color changes, so you don't need to worry about trapping until you get to the very end. There's a little bit of a longer float there, but that's all there is. And I wanted something that was simple but yet engaging. So you'll notice that here every time the diamonds repeat, there's something slightly different going on. So if you happen to look at it closer, you might be captivated by, ooh, where's the difference between the previous repeat? And it also makes knitting a little bit more engaging. And I wanted a deep running yoke, so there's a lot of diamonds going on there. And as I said, the yarn is a sport weight yarn. It's a mix of Rambouillet and Targhee, so it's quite soft to the touch. I'm wearing it on bare skin and it feels perfectly fine. And what I loved most about this yarn is that it's absolutely perfect for this type of color work. My tension isn't usually this impeccable, but with this yarn, I just couldn't take my eyes off my own knitting because it was just so neat and tidy. And yes, I've worn this sweater so much since I finished it. I love the fit and it's so comfortable, and I love the color combination. This gray goes with pretty much anything in my wardrobe, and this red is just the perfect red for me. It's not too bright and it's not too dark, and it's just yeah, everything I dreamed of. So thank you so much, Julie, for trusting me with those yarns. The gauge is 28 stitches times 34 rows in a 10 by 10 or 4 by 4 inch square in colourwork stockinette worked in the round after blocking. And to get that gauge, I had to use the needle size 2.75 millimeters. That is US size 2. And for the neckband, I went to US size 1, 2.25 millimeters to keep it tighter and prevent from stretching out. The pattern comes in 9 sizes, and it's determined by the bust measurement. It's intended to be worn with a 10 to 15 centimeters, that is 4 to 6 inch positive ease. But if you are above cup C or D, I would recommend that you base the size on the more of the upper bust measurement and let less ease around your full bust, because then it will sit nicer on your shoulders. You can also add a little bit more stitches here at the underarm, but I am already adding quite a lot because I like very comfortable sleeves. So the usual modification that you might do might not work. And because the color work continues past sleeve separation, it might also be a little bit more tricky to redo the maths there. So yeah, choose the size based on your upper bust rather than full bust if you want it to lay nicely on your shoulders. The smallest size finished bust measurement is 90 centimeters, and that is 36 inches. And for the 9th size, we've got 171.5 centimeters, and that is 68.5 inches. Now the fun part, the construction, is very typically for me a top down seamless in the round. So, but we start here at the base of the neckline, and we cast on stitches with a cast on. That is then possible to pick stitches up and work the neckband in the other direction later on. I use the long tail cast on because I like how sturdy it is, and it further prevents the neck from stretching out if you wear it much. But you can also use a provisional cast on or any other cast on that you like. And if you think that you like a wide neckline, you might omit the neckband altogether, so you could start with a decorative cast on here. After that, we do some increases and immediately add some short row shaping at the back to raise the neck there. Once we finish with the short rows, we jump into following the color work chart. The pattern has 2 charts, one for a light mane and a darker contrast color, and one for a dark mane and a lighter contrast color. So you do not have to do these inversions in your head when you're knitting, because there's a lot of things going on. And you continue working the yoke in the round. The pattern will tell you how many repeats you should have. So when you're setting up the first colorwork row, I recommend that you place stitch markers after every repeat. And it will also tell you at which chart row you should be splitting for sleeves. Mind that the chart will continue, so be careful you don't miss that point. You can also try on as you go, and you can actually split at any point after all the increases in the chart are done, and you get to your full pattern repeat stitch count per repeat. So if you like a lower yoke or a deeper yoke, you can continue working in the round without the increases following the chart. Or if your row gauge doesn't match, then that's another thing how you can adjust the pattern. Once you've split for sleeves, so we've put the sleeve stitches on hold, and we join here the back and front with additional stitches cast on for underarm, because we have 2 strands at our disposal at the time of separating. We can use the long tail cast on with using those 2 strands, and then we continue on the body. There will be fake seams here at the sides because the pattern repeats near the side seams will be partial, and you'll have to pay attention to which stitch of the pattern repeat you begin, the front and back. But it's also great to have those seams because there is an option for a straight fit and a shaped waist. I've implemented the shaped waist option, so you can see there's decreases added here. As soon as you reach the full bust, we start decreasing, or you can continue straight as you like. And the sweater is quite short, just to the top of my high hip. If you pick the shaped option and you wanted the sweater to be longer, then there's a note in the pattern that you might have to add in some increases to increase the circumference to accommodate your hip circumference. And once we've done with the body, it's finished with the same 2x2 rib here, all in main color after you finish the chart. Once we've done that, we move on to the sleeves, and the sleeves are worked from the stitches that were on hold, and also picked up stitches here at the underarm cast on. And similarly to the body, there will be a fake seam here in the middle of the underarm, purl stitch, and that will be the guiding line for the decreases. The sleeve construction is a little different than a traditional trapezoid sleeve because it's a little bit more balloony and more comfortable. I like it because I can easily pull the sleeve up like that when I get too warm, like I am now. But you do the decreases at a slower cadence until you get about 1/3 of the sleeve left, and then you decrease every third round, and that creates that angled shape at the end of the sleeve. And finally, we work the neckband by picking up the stitches around the neckline and working a simple 2x2 rib, and finishing with the classical bind off. And that's a great segue into the possible modifications, because neckline is one of those. As I mentioned already before, you could omit the neckband altogether if you prefer a wider neck. The pattern is graded so that no size starts with a humongous stitch count here, and the increasing to the right chart stitches is done throughout the increase section after cast on. And then this is highly adjustable. You could stick to the 2x2 rib or work 1x1, a twisted rib, whatever you like, and you could make it as long as you like. You could make it into a turtleneck or add it as a folded neckband. There's a wide variety of options there for you. Next is, as I mentioned as well, but just to summarize all of the modifications that you can do in one place, is the yoke depth, the sleeve length, and the body length are also adjustable easily. Now, if you weren't a fan of the balloony shape for the sleeve, you could easily readjust the decrease cadence there to suit your desires. So already from the get-go, start decreasing faster so you don't get a balloon, but you get a nice and evenly spaced out decrease. As I said, you can easily switch between light and dark colors. You wouldn't have to draw your own chart for that because the charts are already there, or you could even try and do every repetition of the diamond in a different gradient color or try color changing yarn. So there's lots of opportunities to make this sweater your own. The pattern's coming out shortly, and if you are a newsletter subscriber, you will get your exclusive subscriber discount on your email box on the day of the release. And if you're not a subscriber yet, you can become one by following the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.